And so, people need to recognize they make fun of us, but they need us.
Two things that are unmeasurable. One is the universe, the other one is stupidity.
I love donkeys. Donkeys are cute.
Yeah, so I really think we should have this section where we highlight these people who are just doing crap. I mean, they know what they're supposed to do, but they're insistent on not doing it and being selfish and all of that. So, like in Charlemagne the God show, he has this thing, Donkey of the Day. We should have something of the week in this thing we're trying to create here. But we can't use donkey.
Yeah.
We can't use donkey.
No. I love donkeys. Donkeys are cute.
True. Okay. What about Dum-Dum? Dum-Dum of the week.
I like Bebe.
No, not Bebe. Bebe
Nobody's
like
going to know Bebe. Bebe's Trinidadian. Well, we could just use COVIDiot.
But then we are limiting ourselves to the COVID era.
Yeah,
this is
beyond COVID. This is because the
idiots are the assholes.
Although maybe there is no beyond COVID. Maybe the COVID is now the reality and we are going to live the COVID era forever.
Yeah. Will we ever be post-COVID?
No.
No.
Or are we going to have COVID idiots and then post-COVID idiots?
Yeah.
Post-COVID idiots.
Yeah. Post-COVID idiots.
Post-COVID.
But seriously, I mean, Anya and I were in a forum yesterday. It was an online forum with blockchain technologists and cryptocurrency experts. Those experts were in the room, and I came in, and I came in. They were going on for about an hour before I came in, and I heard them talking about, these people are so stupid, and we need to have a system whereby we can't have a direct democracy. We need to have a system whereby people need to pass a test before they're allowed to vote because people are too lazy to do the work to understand things. And I got so I didn't like it at all. I was kind of revulsed by the conversation. And I left the conversation after, of course, dropping some bombs, and Anya as well dropped bombs. They said, "Oh, Margaret and Anya."
But Luca referred to us. Luca actually noticed. He was very, very noticed.
And invited us to come and speak.
Yeah.
But my thing is, so there was something about what they did that really I didn't think it's the right thing to do. And I think it's important for us to highlight these people who are really doing things that are selfish and not really thinking about others in this time. But we need
so it's not idiocy. It's not being stupid.
Yeah.
As far as not having education or not being academically qualified. It's not stupid on that end. It's stupid as in lack of social consciousness or lack of self-awareness or just basic decency and empathy for other people.
But those things could be built, so I don't know.
There's a huge difference between us making fun of someone and someone making fun of themselves. So maybe we think about having a ministry of memes or having a ministry of fun, humor.
A ministry? Who are we managing and controlling here, Anya?
Legal comedy. Okay.
Yeah, legal comedy would be a good thing, Anya, if either you and I were funny. But we've been told we're not funny.
You know what? We could as well make fun of ourselves. We go online and we read all the jokes about lawyers. I'm quite sure that people are going to have fun in our misery, because it's going to be a misery. I mean, I get upset when I read all those jokes.
Yeah, me too. They don't realize that they absolutely need us. And in Trinidad and Tobago, just yesterday or day before, they passed new COVID regulations, and where they said no, people who are in non-essential services can't work, and they identified in law what the essential services were, and lo and behold, legal services were essential services. And so, people need to recognize they make fun of us, but they need us. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jessica.
Law, no, it's true.
They are kind of
Law
right.
permeates every single thing. It's like the foundation for human society. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So listen to that. And that was something that Mark Twain said, okay? Only one thing is impossible for God, to find any sense in any copyright law on the planet. Come on! It's there is some underlying
Was that supposed
truth.
to be funny?
There is some underlying truth in it.
Yeah.
And lawyers know it. It's just, yeah, okay.
Anyway, but what...
A lot of YouTubers will agree with you right now. They are just YouTube's copyright strikes on things that are really clearly fair use, and people say it's fair use. I'm not trying to profit off this. It's, and yeah.
Yeah, all over the place. But seriously, guys, we want to create this show, and we want to have this segment in this show where we are highlighting these people who either, make us take huge steps back in our collective efforts with this disease, or, the heroes and the champions who are helping us, move forward. What would we call the segment?
Well, if we accept that, our species is supposed to have, as part of our evolutionary biology and psychology, some basic empathetic,
Homo empathicus.
factors.
Yes.
Homo empathicus. Then the subspecies are just lacks this completely. Maybe there's a name for them.
Is that part of Richard Dawkins? What was his book? Like The Selfish Gene, or what was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like a completely different, this is selfishness that it does not even serve them as well in the long run. They don't even they're so stupid, they don't even realize that they're doing something that is going to have negative consequences on them too.
It's just a lack of understanding of how this is going to be good for them. So there is no whatsoever perception of delayed gratitude. There is no whatsoever perception of how the society works and how they're being part of the society, how the influence and the relations are looking like. I find it very hard to call those people stupid, because the common understanding, the consensus that we form comes from us working together, and just making these categories is making it very impossible for us to kind of work together. They need to understand, but it's up on us to kind of make them understand. And if we are not able to do so, then who are we?
Yeah, and especially, you could understand it if it's like people coming from a very underdeveloped society, rural, not connected to media. They may not be as aware of what's going on, whatnot. But we're talking about people who have had the benefit of growing up in first world societies.
So I don't like that. I don't like that. First, I don't call any country
first world, quote unquote, developed, wealthy societies, where they've been given, a certain degree of access to everything they need. Amazing public libraries, even if you can't afford to go to university, amazing public libraries, and, basically free primary education and whatnot, and still.
Jessica would have fit in real good.
Toilet seats.
Jessica would have fit in real good with that forum yesterday.
Yeah. We should all be there. Marina was there at first as well, and she left immediately.
Really? Really?
She was just like, oh no, this looks like a bar discussion. I'm not going to be participating in it.
Yeah. Now hear this, right? So obviously we can't come up with a name, but can we decide who was the Homo stupidus? Is that what you said?
Homo stupidus. Homo stupidus.
Who was the Homo stupidus this week when it comes to COVID?
Gosh, we have so many nominees, huh?
Yeah.
Starting with those spring breakers, who I mean, a lot of people came down hard on the people who came to Trinidad for Carnival and celebrated Carnival.
Yeah.
But if we weren't as aware of the ramifications of the virus then as we were now. Spring break was just like 2 weeks ago, in the heat of the thing. Yeah. So there was much time for people to say, okay, I'm out. And all of these young people just went to this thing, and it is like a huge binge drinking, sex party, fluid exchanging, jamboree. And yeah, and then there's an article published tracing them, because now your travel information and where you go and where you're traveling after is a matter of like public access now. So they're tracing where all these spring breakers have gone from Florida and from Tampa and from all the hot spots to spreading, across the states. A few of them have already tested positive. Universities are closed, so it means they're going back home to their parents, most likely. Parents who are in the age bracket where their risk factor is higher. Some of their parents probably have hypertension and whatnot. Yeah. So they're going back to kill their parents and their grandparents.
Yeah. Here's the problem that we have. I mean, we are kind of relying on countries, on our governments, on the travel agencies, on the organizers of all these events to tell us, hey, it's not safe. Let's cancel the whole thing. Let's not go. And it's always like, partially it comes because of the hierarchy that we're so portraying, or we are trying to release ourselves of the responsibility and just putting it on someone else's shoulder to kind of take care of that health standards or of the final decision that needs to be made, because everybody has already paid for that traveling. Remember when we had to cancel the Legal X? We actually asked ourselves, okay, so is this worth it? Are we really gonna go? And then at the end of the day, we came to the conclusion, okay, no, listen to that. It's actually very irresponsible from the organizer to not say anything up until now. We're not gonna go, and we hope that the organizers are going to take that decision as well. But until Friday, we were still looking for the organizers to tell us, hey, we are kind of postponing the show because they are the ones that are putting it all together. And it's funny, we humans are always just not postponing, but hoping that someone else is going to make a decision for us. And I'm pretty sure that all those youngsters were just, going with the same. People are not really capable of just taking those decisions.
So you think they needed someone, an adult, to sort of rein them in? So you can't really, and I guess, when you're 18 or around that age, you really do feel invincible.
You need guidance. Yeah. You need school teachers, parents, somebody that is in control of that situation to tell you, no, you're going to do that. And you're going to do it because the health system is not capable of taking care of all the elders.
Or the governor of Fort Lauderdale or Tampa or whatever to say, no, we're shutting down spring break. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, we have to take this thing really seriously, because I was looking at the stats, and initially we thought that this was just, a disease where people who had underlying conditions and who were elderly would become the fatalities. And now we're seeing from the stats, we're hearing more and more young people dying. I think the stats coming out of China, I was just looking at it while you were talking, was 19% were young people, of the people who died, right? And so, it is really homo stupidus for these young people to be, going out and doing this. It's not only selfish, because you're thinking you are strong enough, as you pointed out, Jessica, is what about the people you're going to come in contact with? Not only selfish, but it's also, you're not recognizing your own risk, right? And I know of a couple young people in my group who have gotten the corona and who are ill. Hopefully, because they're young and they're resilient, they're gonna, come out on the other side. But it's serious. So is that?
I have a friend, and he said he's now far away in Asia, and he messaged us saying, hey, I'm all okay. People around me are kind of ill, they're coughing, and I'm not really like against it. If I get ill now, I might actually become immune, so everything's gonna be fine. I might even wish that I get sick today. And we were all like, are you kidding us? It's not at all about you. I mean, you deserve a slap. It's like, if you get ill today, it's not whether, of course you're gonna get over it.
I love that. I love that. That could be what we did. Who deserves a slap this week?
Ooh, okay.
There's a song by Orange Sky called "Don't Let Me Bust a Slap in Your Ass."
Right.
I wonder if I could contact. Let me contact Nigel Rojas and ask if we could have use of that little clip. Don't let me bust a slap.
And that would be our. No, I love that. Good one, Anya. I love that. No, I'm serious. Let's try to get that. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try to get that. Yeah, go ahead, Anya. Who you wanted to slap again? They needed a slap. You wanted a butter slap.
No, so, I mean, it's not at all whether we get sick or not. Of course, this person is going to survive and he's having an incredible immune system. So all is going to be okay. But the people around him, the elders, are going to die alone. So it's not about those people getting sick and getting better again, but it's about who we are actually affecting while we are getting sick.
I have a question. When you get the coronavirus and you get over it or whatever, your body develops antibodies, right? So you develop.
It's not necessary, but yeah.
Not all the time. What did you say?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not like by default. If you get sick and your immune system is good enough, then you're going to survive. You're going to become immune. But that's not the default. Some people get immune. Some people actually get ill twice.
Right.
So they can return to the hospitals and be treated again. There is no rule just yet. So that's something
that you will get immune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, if you got cured, it's not really that your body necessarily developed the immunity against.
Because here in the UK, I heard them saying, well, the NHS is saying that they have purchased 3.5 trillion, is it trillion or million, tests for people. It's not a test to tell you whether, it's a home test kit, and it's not a test to tell you whether you have the corona, but it can tell you whether you're immune, whether you've had it and developed immunities. And remember very early on in the UK, they were talking about their herd immunity strategy. And it seems like they still are taking steps along that line to identify who in the population is immune. Well, then you could go out and you can do things. You can become part of the workforce. And remember, Anya, we were discussing.
Are they building like a new class system now?
Mm-hmm.
That it's almost like you're this privileged class of the immune, and now you have access to enterprise and freedom. And
it's not really that.
If
you're going to be the one working.
Something else. Listen to Anya's take on this.
Yeah, I think it's far different. If you're going to be immune, you're pretty much going to be forced to work for the system. You're going to be the only one that the system actually has so that it can survive. But the problem that I have is that that's kind of the modern form of a slavery. Not only that, we all know that people that are coming from mixed cultures, from mixed whatever genes, they have the best immune systems. That's a fact. Wow. So what that means is probably those people with the very best immune system are again going to be slaves for the class that is being broken for centuries. Come on. I mean, that's like insane. I don't want that to happen. But at the same time, I mean, sure, we do need people that are going to work for the broken system from within. And if I'm okay with getting the test and if I'm going to be immune, that should be like giving blood on a voluntary basis. If that works the same way, then okay, let's go with it. But if that works like, I'm giving you the kit, if you end up being immune, you go to the line and you become our worker. Okay.
I'm really entering a dystopian future here.
that's like another discrimination. On
immunity is now going to become a human rights issue.
Yeah, it's going to be one of another element that is becoming discriminatory. So it's not only going to be race, color, your system of beliefs. It's not going to be your nationality. It's actually going to be whether you're immune to the diseases that are being the epidemics or not.
Yeah, and that reminds me of the movie, the short film that our teammates are creating right now in It's on that same thing. Maybe we could share a little trailer.
You put a link to it. Yeah, this is a great segue into letting them talk about it.
Yeah, I mean
that's exactly what they talk about. Yeah,
in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, you're looking at the expansion of government power in these times, totalitarianism of government when you're in this pandemic that we are all in. And that movie takes that head on and dealing with people who are immune and, tracking them down. You want to test them. You want to do a whole sort of things with these people who are immune. So, hey, I see Nick in the background. Just fast. But so that's our Homo Stupidus for the day.
The Spring Breakers, officially our Homo Stupidus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Had to be that. But yeah, so
I still have a bit of an issue with that. Like, how far are we allowed to go? Are the organizers Homo Stupidus as well? Are their parents Homo Stupidus?
Yes. No, the organizers. Don't blame the parents. I'll tell you why don't blame the parents. With an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old child, unless you are physically restraining that child, what can you do?
Right, so parents don't even know what have their kids up to. Huh?
They had 12 to 15 years to kind of.
And you stop. I am the mother of a 28-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, I haven't been a parent just yet, so I'm gonna.
No. I'm just saying. Oh God, I'm feeling. Attacked. So that's why I'm defending my demographic, the parents. Leave us out of it. We have no responsibility.
Well, in America, they actually gained the voting right when they hit 21, right?
18.
18?
No,
I thought
18.
They can drink legally at 20, which I've never understood. Yeah. They can drink legally at 21, but they can vote and they can join the military at 18. They learn how to drive at 16. So I think, yes, if you're entrusting people with control of a vehicle that can be deadly at 16 and giving them the right to vote at 18, and they can join the military and you have the right to kill, you're getting the right to, you should be able to be responsible enough to keep your ass home.
I still think that is the main responsibility of the organizer. I even think that if anyone gets sick, they should be able to sue the organizer.
No, that's a whole exciting area. No, that's a lawyer. No, but that's an exciting area that COVID is if you know, for example, that you have corona and you go around willfully spreading it. Come on, there are issues there. And
the same thing with HIV, remember, that they made that a criminal offense. If you know that you have HIV and you willingly go around spreading it.
Oh my God, no, wait. I have another Homo Stupidus. Okay. It was that woman.
Which?
This woman, I think it was in the States. You all didn't see the video? She coughed on the produce section. Yeah, they had to. She deliberately coughed on the whole produce section of the grocery. She was positive and knew it. And she was positive for corona.
What the fuck is her problem?
And the grocery was just doing it. The grocery had to throw away all of that. Everything. Like it was like $35,000 worth of fresh produce.
What is the problem of these people?
I don't know.
Are they
almost stupid ass?
It's not stupid ass. But this is murderers.
We need to
this is like serial killers.
Slap on them.
Yes, it's like slap from both sides. This is serial killers. I mean, thanks God somebody noticed it, but it's like there's intent, obvious intent. She knew that she has the corona, and she went there, and who knows how many people she endangered. I mean, yes, everybody washes the products, but like seriously, you go out and you cough, and did she go like in prison? How do we react to that?
Yeah, the police came and I saw her being arrested. I mean, I didn't read the fine print, or maybe I should have. But yeah, she was arrested. I would have to check and see what she was arrested for, but yeah.
Be considered bioterrorism, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I have some nominees. And this is kind of heartbreaking.
More?
Yeah, but Chinese Americans of Chinese heritage or Chinese descent, or just Asian, they have Asian features, are being like spat on and beaten up and whatnot by
Buster slap.
Yes, the racist people who are doing that, they need a slap upside their head.
Wait. So what happened? What did they do?
Because there's this whole and
just
Trump
because
and
the
his
people are
administration
Asian
is responsible to it because he wanted to call it the Chinese. What do you want to call it? The
Chinese virus.
The Chinese virus. Pompeo was on that same thing too, and the way that they whip up that frenzy among so people are now. It's pretty much just what happened when after 9/11, where anyone who looked remotely Arabic, even Sikhs wearing their turban, people were just attacking them randomly. People are attacking Asian Americans randomly, and don't want to share a seat with them or whatnot. When in fact, they may not even have visited any of the places, and it's the Wall Street or business executive who has been flying all over the place, who's the one that does not look suspicious, but is the one with it.
Isn't it interesting, like when it comes to, hey, can I go and visit whatever destination that we have for the spring break? I will put that responsibility on someone else's shoulder. But when it comes to beating up or getting rid of all the Chinese in our country, I'm going to take that responsibility and I'm going to beat that person up. Like, no, that's actually the responsibility that should be taken over by the state. Like, if there is anyone that shouldn't be in the country, let's put that in a collective pool and let's decide as a collective that these are not the people that we are going to be letting into the country, because that happens. That's why we have borders. I know. The reasoning is completely irrelevant, actually, because that is something that should be a collective decision. That's not something that I should be taking the responsibility for myself and then going on the street and beating people up. If anyone is going to do any violent things, that should be in the hand of police or the military. That shouldn't be like me taking out the gun or me beating somebody up. Yeah, I thought that we kind of surpassed that. I thought that we grow up. Obviously, it's just like, I'm afraid, so I'm going to react right here, right now.
Homo stupidus.
Homo stupidus.
And we are making it our mission to eradicate Homo stupidus.
Yes.
Impossible.
No, because...
No. There's two things that are unmeasurable. One is the universe, the other one is stupidity. For the first one, we're not sure, right?
Yeah, we're sure.
Yeah.
We're sure. But we need to, I don't like to always just be negative. We need to be positive too. Do we have any Homo empathicus? We could point out, some really beautiful, lovely things that have been happening this week.
I always have to shout them out, so I'm just going to do it again. Helen's daughters, a collective of women farmers here in St. Lucia, and long before this, and it's similar to your situation, Margaret and Anya, where the two of you all have been innovating long before this situation, and it's almost like this situation now presents itself. Presents an opportunity for your innovation to really and truly come to the forefront. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with this group. They have been concerned about indigenous food security on the island for a while now. They were very, very concerned about the fact that St. Lucia is a huge tourism destination, and the hotels import over $10 million in food, in foreign food that could be grown right here. And so they've just been boosting up the indigenous production of food, and now they're making the food available through online order.
Nice.
You know, just pick up and delivery and so on, so people can have fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff. And I just find that amazing and wonderful. So they are a homo empathicus, I want to big up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
We have people like that here too in the local community. There's been a group on Facebook, and people are kind of creating the same thing. They want to create an online store for the products and then delivery options, because they want to avoid elders and all the rest of the people just having to go to the store, and you know, who knows when the lady is going to show up and spread the virus all over the store. That's one. And then there's at least two more. I have two friends that are coming from the Gov community. One is based in Ukraine, and he kind of initiated the movement Stop COVID-19. And he got huge response. Like his website hit 40,000 people the first day that they kind of created the movement. They have this Telegram chat, and a lot of people are now volunteering, just like 19 people working on the web page alone.
Right.
And they have a lot of people, a lot of specialists coming. People are advising for the psychology, for the therapy, like different fields, but they're all there for each other, working pretty much in the Ukraine. And then the second one is Phoebe Tickle, and she's present in UK, and kind of enabling people to work remotely now, because a lot of people find themselves struggling with all the digital tools. We don't even know what tools there are, like Zoom, Google Docs, you know, all the rest. How do we communicate and how do we coordinate mostly? So she's been creating these almost like a MVP tool kit for all the digital tools, and she's been creating all these articles on Medium, posting them online, and enabling the whole community to strive. So those are definitely, yeah. Those do not deserve.
Yeah. Empathicus, and I mean, I have to give a shout out to my community here. There's some really great people in Bath, you know, working street by street, helping the elderly and doing some great stuff. I think Homo Empathicus are all of us, all of the world, who are, you know, coming together online, creating these Facebook groups for your street, really plotting everyone on your street and figuring out who needs help. And if you're going to buy something, maybe you can buy some extra for the elderly who can't go to the store and all of that. And so we all have the opportunity to be Homo Empathicus in this situation that we're going through. So yeah, guys, I mean, I'm really excited about these Corona conversations we are going to be having, and the whole lineup of guests that we have planned for us to discuss some of, you know, the challenges and the opportunities that are presenting right now in a post-COVID or in a COVID world that we're in. Excited about the first conversation we're going to be sharing soon with Kudus Pushalfi from Australia, who has been doing, you know, some really singular work worldwide on the future of legal practice and a framework for law firms and lawyers to understand you know, how to engage with technology and get the best out of technology. It's going to be exciting to share that conversation, because he then had all of these great ideas with respect to now that we're in this COVID world, what we could do with some of the, remember that conversation we had on force majeure and his ideas that he was thinking he had to cover, right? But yeah, so that's going to be a great conversation. We also have another conversation coming up with Dan Pepper, who is one of you know, the leading experts coming out of the US in the area of privacy and data security, which is such a critical issue right now, and many other lawyers we have, and not just lawyers. We're going to be interviewing people from across the board. So it's going to be exciting to be able to learn and also to, in this time when people are looking to get information that they can trust, to be a part of the conversation in that way.
Let's not forget all the lawyers that are joining the Future Law Collaborative. I mean, we just got.
Oh my God, that should be right.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Notion is actually giving permissions and is upgrading the profiles for people that are now creating these workplaces for COVID-19. And we have been creating this Notion workplace for legal responsive measures, so that we are creating the whole table directory of all the measures across the world. And a lot of people have joined, have already filled up the type form, and we're now getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are joining.
Yeah, that's so, that is so incredible. And we want to reach out to any lawyers watching this show right now as well. Go to, if you are interested in how you can get involved in a global collective effort of lawyers coming together to curate and upload what are the policy response measures of your government and tracking it in a real-time basis, so that we could start seeing what is the relationship between these policy responses and the impact. And it's not just about this crisis, it's about building a resource for crises going forward. Join us at www.futurelaw.io//COVID-19. Go there, you will see Anya and I inviting you to join the Future Law Collaborative, which is entirely free. And but it's about lawyers who want to do more than just become transactional experts, and lawyers who are thinking more than how can I be the best at what I do. It's for lawyers who are thinking about what are the connections between law and impact in society, and law and development, law and ecological realities, and all of that, and who want to be, want to participate in using their legal expertise to engineer a new future for us, and to work together with other lawyers who are like-minded. So yeah, love to have you join us. And yeah, and it's so fun to do it with people I love and who I could sit and talk with 24 hours a day, you know.
And
so
where can people access all of these conversations?
Yeah, we're gonna be sharing. It's gonna be at flix.com, but it'll all be on futurelaw.io. You get all the information. Futurelaw.io is where you will see everything. We are calling these Flix Corona Conversations.
Nice.
But this is just the series of Corona. But we certainly want to keep the show going after, if you guys find value in it.
I think so. I think there will always be something.
Yeah.
As the world keeps turning and things keep developing, there'll always be something.
Yeah, and yeah, because we need lawyers to start thinking. And you know, I always tell myself I should stop saying we need, because that's me being preachy. And Anya always tells me stop being preachy, and I shouldn't be preachy, and I want to do better. But
putting light on me.
I think what kind of world could we create if we had lawyers who were really thinking about coming together and shaping the future together, and lawyers who understood that we can't work in silos and we needed to work with system thinkers like Jessica and experts from multiple disciplines, so that we can work together, bring our collective intelligence together to create a better future. And that's what we're trying to create in Future Law. The Future Law Collaborative is not just for lawyers, it's also for system thinkers and experts who want to help co-create a better future. So all are welcome.
Yes. All you have to do is be discontent with the way things are, and you want to be part of the solution. It's not for people who are content with how things are now.
For sure.
It's interesting. People keep asking, you know, what type of measures? What do you exactly mean when you say measures? And it's all of the things. It's not only the public policies that are accepted by the government. It might as well be just the private sector. A lot of banks, a lot of insurance companies, a lot of private schools have now said, hey, let's not, you know, we're going to refuse any payment of the tuition, stuff like that. It's almost like a remedy to keep people going.
Yeah.
It's also something that helps them through these times, and those are, you know, private measures, but let's keep track of them so that we can then have an analysis. And well, the whole point, I think, is that this is not the first nor the last epidemic. Right. So as soon as something else hits us, we do need to have a preparedness plan and not just, you know, rely on somebody saying us something. Let's not go to the spring break, or should we go, and how we make those decisions. Let's have something that we can cling on and say, okay, this is how we acted the last time that happened.
Yeah.
So
it's also the innovations. It's also the legal innovations. We are also tracking the legal innovations. So, for example, what Curtis was discussing and what will be shared in that conversation coming up with Curtis, when he was saying, why can't we take this opportunity right now with the force majeure clause to, you know, define a new way, a more universal way of dealing with force majeure in this kind of situation that we could rapidly disseminate. And yeah, so it's innovations that are coming out that can yeah, support us going forward. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. This
so
is
I guess,
a great conversation.
Yeah. I guess I'll see you all soon for our next conversation that we're gonna be recording. And so we hope you guys log in and plug in with us. I think our schedule is going to be, and I guess it's ambitious on our part, but I think we're thinking every week we're going to be able to put out the show, right, Jessica? Right, Anya?
Yeah, every week.
Right. Well, we definitely have quite a lot of different speakers and a lot of topics that we can be talking about. So yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, every week. So yeah, and we will, I don't think we've made the decision what day per week the episodes are going to drop, but when we drop the first one, which will be sometime this week, yeah, it'll probably be a week after that. Right?
I think if people want to be notified of when they drop, you know, keep in contact with us. And
yeah, there'll be a link below for people to be able to sign up, to subscribe.
So you'll be first to know. You'll be the first to know when it drops.
Yeah. Okay, guys. See you all next time.
You all stay safe. Stay safe.
You too.
Yeah.